All right. So moving on. I guess this kind of goes back to the last question I just asked.
hmm
Do you have any recruits that you put into the Marine Corps who you feel made an impact on, and how?
Uh, I feel like I make an impact on everybody. From what I've been told, like I have a lot of people that say, I'm the reason they're even joining the Marine Corps, and that is crazy to me. Just hearing that, but so I do think I have an impact on a lot of people. I think everywhere I go, you kind of leave an imprint. No matter who you are, you kind of leave some sort of an imprint. Especially the more that you're ingrained with these folks' lives, and whether it's with Marines, poolies going into the Marines, or these kids that just graduated and stuff like that, you definitely play a significant part in their lives. You could definitely tell when you don't. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you didn't, kids won't even reach back out to you. They won't even hit you back up. They'll hit up other recruiters, and I've had other kids from other stations hit me up. It's crazy to think about. So I definitely think that I have an impact everywhere I go. I leave an impact on people. As far as them leaving an impact on me, I think everybody leaves an impact on me. I feel like everybody I talk to, I get to know. I get to see kind of like what they're going through in life, and it's so interesting to see the different routes and pathways that people go through in life, just making their own way essentially. And it's a different perspective from what I grew up with, and it's always refreshing to see. It also gives you a little more tools for your mental toolbox on how to talk to others and level with others, because you can take those experiences from those others and kind of level with it, and it impacts you definitely. It lets you empathize with people more. It lets you understand people more, and I truly do thank everybody that has played a part in my life. I do thank everybody that has come across my path and taught me a little something, because I always say, if you didn't learn something new today, you're really living life. And I think we should all seek to learn something new every day, even if it's about somebody else. And
Yeah.
yeah, everybody I've ran across, whether it's Marine or Poolee, have always impacted me, definitely, especially just the way I am and the way I've grown up through the Marine Corps. It shows, because I wouldn't be the leader I am today had it not been for the Marines that I've met and the people on the outside as well that I've met too.
Man, yeah, and I will add that you have helped towards my growth. When you know better than most. When I first got to your PCS, I was definitely out of pocket. I've calmed down a little bit since then, and all of the lessons you've kind of taught me from beginning to now have definitely helped towards that character growth. So
Mm-hmm.
you really do have that impact on people.
That's awesome. Appreciate that.
Um, Man, so okay, so this is more of like a leisure part of it. That's how I'll put it. What parts
mm-hmm.
of the world have you been to through being in the Marine Corps, and what culture was your favorite out of all of them? I know you mentioned Japan, and I think you talked about that one the most.
So I've been to a lot of places. I mean, holy crap, man! I've been in the Middle East, Indo-Pacific. I mean, you name it, right? Been to a ton of places. I would say one of the places that does stick out to me culturally is Japan, because I do mention it a lot, and it's just because I think Japan is what America used to be, and it's crazy to say that, but you've seen how America is today. It's no secret, it's out there. Everybody sees it. So let's be transparent about it. We're in a bad spot, dude. We got politicians that'll they put profit before people. We got a government that doesn't even care. They'll put profit before people, and that's just sickening. And I don't really see that with the Japanese. That used to be a thing, And then now it's almost like they've adopted our culture that we used to have. You have, men and women actually acting like men and women. You have men and women dressing like men and women. There's no in between. There's no confusion. Everybody's just living life. These people work hard. They party hard. They're super polite, even though they're super imperialistic. Like, don't let that fool you. Like, when you go there, these people are truly, what's that new buzzword kids are using, xenophobic or whatever. Like, they will open their arms to, multiple cultures and new people, but they doesn't mean they like them.
Yeah.
They are very so much pro-Japanese. Like, they are for just keeping Japan. You know what I'm saying? They don't like the fact that people move out there. They hate that. They really do. I mean, they'll say they love it, publicity and everything, and they're great people. I think they are. They're polite. They'll tell you to kind of f off in a polite way. They're just kind, cordial. They have manners. They have respect. The way they work, their work ethic is flawless. They literally have a law in Japan where you can't, you can fall asleep at work, like it's legal. You can't get fired or anything like that. They also have a law where it's illegal to work overtime because so many Japanese they get so involved with their work that it's like me, right? It takes control of their health. They stop caring about their health. They're there for work, and it's the government in Japan has acknowledged that is unhealthy. It's an interesting culture, man. From seeing what it went to from World War II to where it is now, it's like they've kind of adapted old America culture. Like, these people love their country. They're very patriotic about their country. There's nothing you can do to sway them otherwise. They are working for their country. They love what's going on. Now, as far as, like, the inner workings of Japan, as, like, the relationship-wise and everything going on over there within that, I don't know much about it. I wasn't on Japan Tinder or whatever they have over there, I wasn't involved like that. But as far as, like, going around and sharing their culture and, breaking bread with these people and going out and celebrating nights with these guys. They're just like we are. They're just like we are, especially working with the Japanese Rangers and everything like that. These dudes are, they love their country. They want to serve their country because Japan's military, which not a lot of people know, is an all-volunteer force. Nobody's drafted. Nobody's told to go to the military. Like, they are just there by what they want to do, and they love it. They live and die by it. I think they're still hardcore like they were in World War II, obviously with a little less imperialism. They're still hardcore in the aspect that they like their country and everything like that. I'm not trying to hide any of their bloodied past. Every nation has a bloodied past, let's not deny it, but as far as a culture, that is one that truly did stick out to me. I thought it would be the Middle East, but the Middle East is the Middle East. We've seen it time and time again. They're very eccentric over there. They don't like outsiders. They're very to themselves. They sure as heck don't appreciate women. Women are kind of lucky if they grow up in the United States. They kind of won the lottery on that one because we've saw firsthand over in Dubai how they treat women, and my God. That's all I could say about that. My God.
Man,
but,
I can't add to that. I can't attest to that because the family that adopted me, Persian, my grandfather, he's from the Middle East. He's from, I think it's Pakistan. Or no, Iran. He's from Iran. He's very straight to the point, attention to detail, kind of iffy on outsiders. It's in the culture. It really is, man, and it shows. So I can definitely see where you're coming from when you're talking about the Middle Eastern culture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, they're not bad people. I'm not saying anybody's a bad person, but my God, when it comes to, certain rights and certain laws, they stick by them, They have their own culture for sure, and if you're a woman out there in the United States, you're lucky to be living here because they do not. You have rights. Yeah. I'll put it that way. You have rights. You have a lot of rights.
Man, all right. So, I guess the next question is, as a recruiter, or just as someone older than the rest of us in life, man, Um, what is some advice you would give to anyone wanting to become a Marine or military in general?
Uh,
Honestly,
I'd say if you're looking into the military, just follow your dreams. Um, do what you want to do. Don't make a decision for somebody else. Make a decision for yourself. Because like we all want to do things for others, and that is admirable in its own. But like if you're not in a position to take care of others, do stuff for yourself first until you are in that position to take care of others. Because that's what really makes or breaks us. And a lot of people, because we all join the military for reasons. We all have our own personal reasons, whether it's, protecting family or anything like that. For me, it was 9/11. I just never wanted to see innocent people get hurt. And it's admirable on its own, There's people who join for college, but low-key, deep down, they're not just doing it for college. They're doing it because, there's something deeper than that. Like, why are they doing college? Oh, they're doing college because they respect their parents and they want to make them proud. Like there's so many different things, but no matter what, if you're going to look into something, absolutely pursue it. Especially if it's the first thing on the mind, because at the end of the day, we sit there and we get up to the finish line and then we just end up dropping that goal before we even cross that finish line. And it's disheartening because a lot of people truly do want to better themselves, but they just never give themselves the chance, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's never going to be easy, but at the end of the day, it's rewarding. It is super rewarding, and if it is something that you're wanting to do, even if it's like just a tiny thought, go hear some information, Don't let a recruiter slide down some papers and sell you on a car. Actually just hear them out, see the information they're going to give you. If they're transparent with you, that's up to you to decide, but don't let somebody make that decision for you. Don't ever let somebody pull the trigger for you on a decision that you want in life. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. You're going to be living it. You make your choice. You should always live by your choice. Like, you pull that trigger on that decision. That way you can, at the end of the day, if it's not for you, be like, yeah, I kind of messed up. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I'll go a different route. And then go pursue that to the fullest. At the end of the day, just get the full information, especially if it's in the military, especially when it comes to branches. Pick which one fits your lifestyle. Pick which one acclimates you. Don't even worry about jobs, man. The jobs can get changed. You can get into a position, you can change the jobs. Military is much like the outside world, just with a uniform and job security, because you can't really necessarily get fired.
unless you become like very unbecoming.
Yeah, exactly. But just pick something that's going to fit your lifestyle. Pick something that you're going to be at ease with, because no branch is truly 100% different. We all have the same benefits. We all have the same things. As far as like the accommodation of lifestyles, that's where it varies. Everybody knows the Air Force is this relaxed branch, which is why everybody goes to them. But only Air Force guys truly know how that is, so get the full story from them. Everybody thinks Marines is like the hardest branch, which I will say right now it is. I'll clear that up. But you never know until you sit down with a daggone Marine recruiter. Like, everybody just thinks the Army's, going to chuck money at you, which they probably will, but you never know until you talk to an Army recruiter. You never know until you get the scoop. But at the end of the day, don't just make your decision off of one guy. Follow your dreams, follow your heart, trust your gut, and make that decision yourself. Never let somebody make your decisions.
Get out of your car immediately.
Man, I really like that statement. Man. So, okay, if you ever had kids, right, and they wanted to enlist into the military, how would you feel about that? Would you support them, or?
100%. 100%. Like, because you already know I got a girlfriend now, and we are obviously planning on having kids in the future. If it comes down to my kid making a decision like that, yeah, I'll support them. Why would I shun them away from doing something that I did? I think it's noble. I think it's admirable. Yeah, it'll be a bittersweet for the moms, but moms are going to be moms everywhere. You know how moms are. I'm 30 and my mom still looks at me like I'm 12.
Even my adopted mom is always iffy on the military. So.
Yep. At the end of the day, they're not going to want you to go anywhere, but as looking at it from a father-like perspective, I would support that kid 100% because there's no point in crushing his dreams or heart, regardless of how you feel about it. Because like, it's a war-fighting industry. I get that, but I'd rather have my kid, be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, and actually be able to stand up and do his own things, and also learn, a few life lessons along the way. Because the military does give you so much. Whether you do 4 or 20, you take something from that. I mean, I'm a prime example. Like, I grew up young in the military. I left straight out of high school, went straight in, and I wasn't always this way, and now look at me. I am a leader that a lot of people get behind, and that's humbling to me. I think that's amazing, and if I can learn that, then I know, dang well that somebody else can end up like that and grow like that as well, too. Why shun them the opportunity of growing like that if you know they can? So if I ever had a kid approach me and they wanted to join the military, I'd be like, what branch?
Yeah.
That's all they got to tell me. I'll go there with them. I'll be their biggest supporter. They want to do sports, I'll support them. The only thing I won't support is some crazy ideology that's going to divide and, separate them from others. I want my kids to be pro-humanity, love thy neighbor. I want them to actually be able to see an accident on the side of the road and EMS ain't there and actually pull over, see if everything's okay, and get EMS there. I don't want some kid that's going to whip out a cell phone for clout or... I'm so sick of the way the world is right now in that aspect. Like, we've lost the plot. We used to help each other as Americans. Americans used to be the cornerstone around the world. Everybody knew, like, when an American would come up to you in another country, it was like, oh, they're here for help. They're really kind. We're arrogant, but we're kind, Like, we love our country, but we also represent, like, a bastion of hope. We're like Superman in other countries, You see the S, and it means hope, and that's what America used to be. And a lot of people, it's sad today, they don't grow up seeing that. And I want my kids to know that that's how America used to be, and that's what I want them to grow up to fight, for America to be. Because without people like that, without people loving America, without people loving thy neighbor and enjoying the rights that the Constitution provides you, we won't have a country anymore if it continues to go this way. And I love this country. I truly love the country. I love the people. Some of them are knuckleheads, but hey, I give them the, we provide the right by defending them to be knuckleheads, and I'm all for it. And I want my kids to have that same opportunity.
And I guess I'll throw this question in next with the love of country, man. So with the way, as someone, I guess, who is in the service and could have a very valid opinion on the topic, like you said, our country's in a very dark spot. There's not much humanity left. I mean, heck, you have pedophiles getting bowled left and right. You have crime on the rise everywhere. People's rights are getting violated left and right. So what, in your opinion, how can we better our country from where it's at now?
It's very simple. Like, we can go into the policies, change the education system, go after the government and all this thing, X, Y, and Z. But what truly separates America from all the other countries is the people, man. It always comes down to the people, because this whole country is founded on the premise, not for government to govern people, but for people to govern the government. And it's written in the Constitution, It's literally in the Second Amendment. We have the right to bear arms. And there's a quote that I absolutely love from George Washington himself. If I can kind of pull this thing up. It really is the embodiment of our country, because the Second Amendment, if you know it, it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And it says that shall not be infringed for a reason, because, and this is the quote followed on by, one of my idols, a free people ought not to be armed and disciplined, but they should have the sufficient arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government. It's like our founding fathers knew that, because because we all came from England, man. Like the founding Americans came from England. They escaped it under the king's rule. They didn't want to be there because the king was putting a tax and everything. They weren't allowing people to live how they wanted to live. You know, you had to worship certain religions, and we said screw that. We were like, nah, man. You know, let's go start our own country with our own things. You know, we're gonna do our own thing, and that's what we did. And we made sure that we wrote everybody sees it as a piece of paper. They think it's racist for some reason these days. I don't know why you would. It literally holds the rights to you as a human being. But it literally, in that paper, man, it holds the key to, you know, how we operate as a country, and it's not to be governed, it's to govern. Like, we are supposed to govern our government. We're supposed to make sure that they're not overstepping their boundaries and becoming like a dictatorship or a tyrannical rule. Like, that's on us. And I think the way we can bounce back and fix our country is, you know, band together. Stop finding stupid little reasons to divide ourselves. Oh, I have anxiety, ADHD. Nobody cares, man. You're a human being. You know, oh, I'm black, I'm white. Nobody cares, man. You're a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all grew up in America. We won the lottery. We grew up in America. Love the dang country. Yeah, it has blood on its hands, but it's not how we or what we came from. It's what we became in the process. Like, we could sit there and go back like, oh, we had slaves and all this X, Y, and Z, but we can also go on, like, where we went from there. We are the first world country. You know, our economy single-handedly, you may think the economy is bad. Sure it is. But we still run the world's economy. If America collapsed, China's funds would collapse. You know, Russia's trades would collapse. Like, we're a beacon and a pillar in the world. If America collapsed, we'd be a power vacuum, and the world would crumble into chaos. And I do view it that way because everybody, as I get we're a laughing stock in the world now, but everybody is looking at us. They're watching us. And if we're such a laughing stock, why are they still laughing at us and watching us? Because they want to hope that we fix ourselves. Because they know if we crumble, they crumble. And that's just how it is.
Man. So, last question I have is kind of on a bittersweet note. I actually just wrote this one today. So, I guess, unfortunately, you did recently learn that you're getting separated from the Marine Corps. Tell me a little bit about that, and what do you plan on doing after the Marine Corps? What are your goals and aspirations after the Marines?
So, yeah, all my boys know as well, too. I've pretty much spread it all around, but yes, I am unfortunately getting separated. I've failed 2 back-to-back PFTs, which is our fitness tests. I maxed out the other events, but if you fail one event, it's counted as a failure all across the board. So I failed the runs on both of them. The first time it happened, I was getting off a kidney failure, so I knew I was going to fail that one. It was kind of rough. And the second time it happened, my cardio just sucks. Like, I may be a big guy, I may be lean and everything like that, but I'm just a lifter. You know, I don't really run anymore like I used to in the infantry because, like I said, I sacrificed my own health essentially for this whole get up. And so yeah, unfortunately I failed to quote-unquote meet the standard, which results in an admin separation, and I am getting administratively separated from the Marine Corps early. But with that, it's not like I'm going to toss down the Marine Corps and be like, you know, F this, the Marine Corps did this to me, it's their fault. No, it's not. I love the Marine Corps. I love what it provides to people. I love everything that it's provided me. It's just an unfortunate circumstance at the end of the day. But what it comes down to is, you know, what I'm going to do afterwards, and what I plan on doing afterwards is I can't stay away from the infantry. I can't, you know, leave this all behind. I just refuse to, because I've grown up in the military. You know, it's everything that I know, and I have such a deep appreciation for the military and the boys that serve in here. And so I plan on actually going back in through the Navy, and I'm going to do corpsman route so I can get back with the infantry on the green side corpsman and get back with the boys, man. Yeah, I'll be on the other side of the block, but I'll be able to be with them in the field. I'll be able to help them and stuff like that, and that's what I want to do. I mean, if that plan doesn't fall through and I'm unable to, I was probably actually going to go do either local law enforcement or EMS and work at the fire department, because I love being in jobs where I can help people and assist people. It's something that I've always loved, and it truly does make me feel good when I'm able to use my abilities to help others, because it's not expecting something in return or anything like that. The only thing I love in return is just seeing people well off and be in a better position than what they were before. That's what I love to see.
Absolutely. Man, those were some good answers right there, man. I've never had an interview quite like that before, so.
Oh man, I'm a rambling man.
Man, wow. All right. So, before I end this out, is there anything else you would like to say?
Um, Shoot, man, I don't really have much other than, just I hope everybody stays positive out there. We're in definitely some dark times, but don't let them beat you up. And don't let life get your vision skewed, because a lot of people tend to look at life through shrewd eyes because of how hard it is out there, and the lack of trust has gone down amongst society, where it's to the point where we don't even acknowledge each other anymore. Like, you have people that live right next to each other and they don't even know who each other are, they don't even relate or have communicated, whereas we used to have neighborhood barbecues and all that. So don't let life beat you up. Don't let life get you down. I know it sucks out there right now. I know things are hard, but don't let that pressure you into changing who you are. Consistently try to help others, consistently try to help yourself, and let's get America back to where it was, man. I miss being in the country that I grew up in, where racism wasn't talked about, indifferences really weren't a thing. It was more like, hey, we understand what we had to do. We were American, and it meant something back then, and unfortunately now it doesn't, and I want to see it mean something again. And just don't let it beat you up. Stay positive. Keep your chin held high. Keep your nose to the grindstone. Keep producing. Keep being productive to society, and let's all get through this.
Absolutely. Man, I appreciate your time and coming on here and having a chat with me.
Absolutely, man.
All right. That's all we got now.
Alrighty.